What do you do when you're playing with your fountain pens and the ink goes flying and you ruin an undyed? Stay tuned. Hey y'all, so I am doing a video for a couple different reasons. One, because recently I had a major mishap with one of my Quakos. So I was checking, this isn't the one, but I was checking one of my Quakos to see how much ink was left in it. And so I took the top off, and I'm going to move this aside just in case I make another foolish mistake. I pulled this off and I looked at how much ink was in one of these tiny little converters. And just like this one, you can see that there's a bubble at the top that has some ink in it. So me in my infinite wisdom decided to flick to try and get the ink to come down so that I could use every last drop, trying to be frugal. And the third time that I flicked this teeny little converter, it came flying out of the pen and flung directly in the direction of my planner stack. Y'all, I didn't cry, but I wanted to. So the first planner that got hit by the ink was this Galen leather. It is just a folio. It was a cheap folio, but it was undyed, and as you can see, the ink splattered on it, and it's sort of like a purple ink with like a green haze in the background. You can see that. And I was like, you know what? It's a $35 planner. I'm gonna switch this cover now to my ink swatching book because that seems to be appropriate now for doing so. Because now if I get ink on it again, it's no big deal and I don't need to cry a river. But what I realized shortly thereafter was that the ink had also landed on my brand new Eternal Leather Goods planner. Then I cried. So this cover now looks much different than it did in the very last video, because as you can see, ink got on the side and I freaked out instantly. When I saw that ink on there on a completely undyed cover, I freaked out and went into recovery mode. My recovery mode spiraled out of control. And this is where I ended up. Now, some people may look at this and be like, you ruined it. You absolutely ruined it. It was completely light. Obviously, most of us that have Eternal Leather Goods know his Collins coloring isn't quite the same as an undyed like this. This is definitely more of a color similar to, say, Vanderspec. Collins they do tend to be like orangey yellow. His leather is definitely a little bit more dry, but I went into full recovery mode and this is how I ended up. And so I was planning on selling this cover. Like, I was going to sell it because it's one of the higher end covers, and I was just gonna keep just my Moterms, and I was gonna sell, you know, some of my more expensive ones. and I pretty much ruined it. But I have to say that somehow now, after ruining it, I absolutely love it. It now has this like gorgeous patina to it. It's shiny because I like, y'all, when I went into recovery mode, we're talking full on. I was like, and so this mark is actually 3 times lighter than it was originally, but obviously it made a spot trying to clean this off, and so then I had to change the whole cover. I was like, I can't keep it this way because now there's a spot, and you can still kind of see it a little bit. I'm just trying to open it up. You can see that the spine is a little darker. There's kind of the spot right there. Now obviously the more that this is used, that's gonna fade even more because the whole thing is gonna darken up, and even like some of these little lines and such will darken up. I am handling it a lot so that my natural oils hit the leather. But when I got this, I think obviously some of you know that the just the clasp being super textured bothered me, and so like seeing this be really smooth and light and this kind of darkening because of the texture, that bugged me. But now it blends so much better since I ruined it that I really like it. It's really weird for me to say that, but so I've decided now that I'm going to keep it. I have also made it really shiny and like, so, can you listen to that? Like so stinking soft because I worked the daylights out of this leather, that it is like a completely different cover. So I'm pretty sure that I did a comparison color wise to the apricot from Moterm, and look at this now, y'all. They're almost exactly the same color. So like night and day different from where it was. And as much as I was upset that I did that and then I couldn't sell it, it's almost like it was just meant to be. So I just wanted to come on and just kind of talk about that a little bit, and talk about the fact that, you know, you can find beauty in the imperfections, and that was really never me before. So this is me embracing that and just embracing how the change of it, like with it changing color like that, and just kind of seeing like the different color variations. Some of this is from me working the leather, like the inside pockets kind of pushing against the leather can make, you know, some of those marks. And like I said, that will kind of dissipate with time, but for now that is what it looks like. But I just think it's really cool, and yeah, I can feel like this is the line for one of the pockets and then this is the line for the other. So those two lines there, and even some of these, are definitely from the pockets and me just kind of like working on the leather. But I am also trying to make it a little bit darker by tanning it a little bit. I don't have any sun today, but I did a little bit yesterday. So I'm gonna keep working on it, and I will kind of keep you guys posted on its progress and what it looks like. I'm hoping to get it a little bit darker in here so that maybe the dot disappears, because I'm not like a huge dot fan. That's from and you'll get these on Gillios, that's from the clasp not being padded, and just kind of doing this and your oils touching just that one spot creates that dot. Whereas if it was padded slightly, you wouldn't see that as much. So hopefully I'll be able to kind of work that out and get rid of that one little spot. But that is what it looks like now. It's totally different from what it was, and all because in my foolishness I goofed around with my ink where I shouldn't have been and ruined a planner that I now love even more. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye!